Follow Sheikh Amin.
So who is better? The rich man with patience or the poor man with patience?
Question says, who's better? The thankful, wealthy man or woman? I'll answer the question. Only for you, Sheikh. Wallahi. If your beard wasn't white, wouldn't answer the question, Sheikh. The correct view is that neither of the two. There is no preference over this one over that one. Then they're equal in virtue. One of the two has more taqwa, more piety, more closeness to Allah, then he's better. And there is no absolute ruling for A or for B. For A or for B. Now this is a long argument because some people, for the poor one to do certain things that the rich man can. Sadaqah, zakah, jihad, hajj, umrah. But specifically the aspect of he has the ability to do certain hasanat that the poor man can't. And the poor man has the ability to do acts of ibadah. No one stops him from prayer. No one stops him from fasting. Obviously, if he's poor, it's even easier to fast. It's easier to fast. Everybody understand this? Someone gives it to him. Someone says, tafaddal, go make hajj, go make umrah. No one stops him from seeking ilm because he has nothing else to do, etc. And there are things that he can do with his heart. Khashya, the fear of Allah, the dread of Allah, tawakkul, putting your trust in Allah, raja. And all of these, do that too. He can do that too. Ulama, they say that, others say this. The correct view is that depending on who is closer to Allah. And just because the rich man gives the sadaqah, makes the jihad, funds the jihad, builds the masjid, it doesn't mean that his heart is closer to Allah than that poor man. They may both cry. They may both love Allah. But that poor man's heart may be what? Even more tender. His view is that they're what? Depending on who wins. Wallahu alam. It's a very, very long, extensive argument. Ibn Qayyim rahimahullah, he mentions it, he explains it. Ulama came before him, they died.
Yes, Sheikh. What is the best way of being thankful to Allah?
Best way of being thankful to Allah. That's an extremely difficult question. It says here, what's this book? This is the whole book, 517 pages. Where's the title at? Yeah. So you know what the book is without the title.
There's a chapter.
That's not what I asked you.
I just know.
Tayyib. Okay. So here, alhamdulillah, if this is the book, which obviously it is, I stand corrected. Well, says a translation of the book, 517 pages in English. Alhamdulillah. Inshallah, you can send the PDF to me. We can look and see how good the translation is. Alhamdulillah, it's wrong.
Yes.
There's nothing wrong with that.
It's not perfect.
Barakallahu fikum.
I got one.
Yeah, no doubt, many. Yeah, not just one. They have many. Wallah alhamd. The Arabs, they have a statement. I'm not saying this about myself, but just they say says kafa al-mar'a nubulan and tu'adda ma'ayibu. They said sufficient for man's prestige and nobility for his mistakes to be counted. You got it, Abu Saeed? I won one. I got 2. 3. I struck a blow against you. Mufti's wrong. Kether, kether. The Arabs, they say what? That's a what? A 7 and 2. The 2 games. Out of 13 games isn't what? Ain't bad, right? It ain't bad, huh? Barakallahu fikum. Hayakum Allah. As far as the question, what's the best way of making shukr to Allah? Make the mandatory shukr. You lock that down. First and foremost, you have the shukr in your heart. You acknowledge that what you got, what happened, what took place is only from Allah. Obviously, that's easier said than done. Do you really believe that about all that you have? I worked hard for this. I sacrificed. I saved money. Even the sheer fact that you say those words with your tongue. Yeah, I saved up for that. I went on Hajj together. I did. That in itself is if it's. But the sheer fact that it comes off your tongue is saying what? Is giving some telltale sign that it's a bit weak. Allah gave it to me. Allah brought it to me. Allah allowed me to make Hajj 5 times. Allah allowed me to study this. So the first is the acknowledgement of the qalb, the heart, which is easier said. Is that a person must use the things that Allah has given him to get closer to Allah. Allah gave me a car, a house, money, job, savings, retirement. Allah gave me a wife, a husband. Then I have to use those things as tools to work to the hereafter. Gave me eyes to look at the Quran, the Mus'haf Sharif in the street. Not a kether, not a kether, not a kether. So you must do that. Your hands are not made for beating people up and doing this and doing that, grabbing and touching this. Your hands are used for Allah's cause, or anything on it. You must say it, you must pronounce it. It's insufficient to just have it in your heart and to act upon it. But you must say, Alhamdulillah, Allah has blessed me. I'm fortunate. Allah has given me a lot. Allah made it easy. Allah did this. Once you have these three obligatory things, alhamdulillah, there is no absolute rule. It depends on the person. For a rich man, obviously the best type of shukr is to kadha. For the strong man, the best way of thanking Allah is using his physical strength, which shouldn't be underestimated. The one who's smart, the best way of making shukr, his highlighting point. Or we may say, depending on the time and the place, what's most needed by the people. So it all depends. It all depends. This issue is a branch of the issue of which is the best deed. What's the best deed? What's the most virtuous action? Wallahu ta'ala alam.
Online viewer. Initials TK. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Himself from a kind of people, or when he says such and such is not from us.
Question says, what does it mean when the Prophet ﷺ declared himself free or innocent from someone or people or an act? We say, first and foremost, it proves that that act is a major sin. Ana bari'un. I'm free from one who does this. Abu Musa al-Ash'ari radiallahu anhu said, I'm free from those whom the Messenger of Allah ﷺ was free. The Messenger of Allah freed himself from this woman, and that woman. Those who rip their clothes, tear out their hair, that wailing, shouting, shrieking, ripping, scratching at the calamity of death is a what? Haram, and it's a major sin. Secondly, it proves that that act is not from the act of Islam or the acts of Islam. It's not from the Sunnah. No way. No end. Living with the mushrikeen, doing this, doing that, etc. In the example that you mentioned. That it's not from the ways of Ahlul Islam. In most cases, or many times, Abu Sa'id, it's going to be from the acts of Jahiliyyah. And he's declaring himself free from Jahiliyyah and the people of Jahiliyyah. Sometimes the act could be major kufr. And sometimes it could be major shirk and major nifaq. And other times it could be minor kufr, minor shirk, minor nifaq. And the one who does it, the one who fell into the sin, doesn't necessarily mean that he's not a Muslim. She's not a mu'minah if she scratched her face and yelled out loud, oh God, why'd you take my husband? It's haram. It's a major sin. But it doesn't mean that she's made apostasy. She's left the fold in the realm of Islam. Everybody understand this? But it doesn't mean that we say this and interpret it. What did he say? Are you going to make a disclaimer about that? And say, no. There's no need to make a disclaimer. Because that's not from the way of the Salaf al-Salih. That will interpret and it means this and it means that. He who bears arms against us means kada. It's not really. That lessens its potency. It takes away its what? Its potency. An example of this, he says, Man taraka salah faqad kafar. He who doesn't pray has made kufr. What does it really mean? Minor kufr, major kufr? We say what? Don't leave off the salah, yaqi. Don't miss the salah. And if you do miss the salah, make it up immediately. Make tawbah to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If a person feels, I'm a kafir, I might as well make suicide. There's no way, I'm doomed, I can't come back to Allah. Then you explain to him what it means. Kada, 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 kada. But if that's not the case, leave them as they what? As they are. Inhibitors. Let's make an example of this. You have some property that's sacred, and you put up signs, no trespassing, 100,000 volts. That voltage is not there. We don't have the money, the technology to have that type of voltage on a gate. Far less, if any voltage at all. What's beneficial for the people, I would say, the looters, the people that want to squat, the people that want to vandalize and this and that? To say 100,000 volts, but it's not really voltage, or to leave it as it is as a warning. Don't climb over this gate. Don't transgress on this boundary. Stay far away. Which of the two is more beneficial for the people, I would say? Without a doubt. Everybody understand this? Not saying that the warnings are fake and there's no voltage behind them. Everybody clear on this? It's far beneficial. I wonder is it really that much volts or not? You're not even going to think about it. Is this not the case? Unless you're extremely foolish. And there are many people like that do the haram acts. They don't care. And there's some people that may realize that the gate is real. Wallahu alam. Hopefully that's clear, inshallah.
The questioner, his initials M.A. Assalamu alaikum, Shaykh. I wanted to ask, what do you do when you want to study the deen, however people keep telling you to work? I fear I may not have enough time for my studies.
Question says, what do you do when you want to study and people keep telling you have to work? I don't agree with the question at all. It's totally hypothetical. If you want to study, you're going to study. If you want to study, then you're what? You're going to study. If you truly want to study, then you're going to do it. If you're thinking about studies, study's okay. I want to be a talib ilm, inshallah. One day a talib ilm, one day I'm in college. One day a talib ilm, one day kada. One day talib ilm, one day I'm a businessman. One day talib ilm, I'm a marriage. A ladies man. One day talib ilm, kada. I'm a thug, I'm a gangster. One day talib ilm, I'm this and I'm that, and I'm a pretty, wallah, it's a reality. Many of us are like that. Unfortunately, may Allah help us and hide our faults. But he who truly wants to seek ilm, no one can stop him. As the Prophet ﷺ used to say in his dua, that which Allah gives, no one can hold back. And that which Allah holds back, it's just that simple. Wallahu alam. If you're feeling discouraged, then avoid those people. Stay away from those people. Go talk to someone who studied, who benefited, and allow yourself to be romanticized by that ilm and ignore the other things. Make sacrifices if you truly want that knowledge. Do you think all of those great champions and heroes and sports athletes and Hall of Famers, you don't think they sacrifice? You don't think those musicians, those virtuosi or virtuoso, you don't think those guys went through sacrifices? You don't think we call them crazy, Majnoon? You want to stay for 3 days playing the piano? No sleep, no food, no sunlight, no water? You don't think people said that to them? You don't think people said that to Beethoven and Mozart? No doubt they did. Yet and still they didn't distract them from what? That symphony. Wallahu alam. It's reality.
Question asks, initials MC. Assalamu alaikum. What is the title of the book and where can I find the PDF?
We didn't give the title of the book, nor did we give the PDF. Intentionally. For you to, if we give you everything, you won't come back. You won't listen to the classes. We tell you the book, you say, I don't need to listen to you no more. Class, I have the translation. Mufti, we don't need you. Next. So we got to keep you what? Coming back. Perhaps we'll do another lecture on the book and mention the title. Nafis, unfortunately, cheated. And found the translation, which is a good thing. Even though we didn't. Type, before you go for it, what's the name of the book, though? You found the 517-page book PDF. Tell me the title of the book.
The Way of Patience and Gratitude.
The Way of Patience and Gratitude. That's what Ibn al-Qayyim called his book? Let's see. What did we say before, Sharif? You have to be what? In knowledge, you have to be brave. You have to be willing to do what?
I'm sorry, patience and
La. No. What do you have to do, Alameen? We said this before. Somebody said, how can you say that? You can't say that. Some kuffar, what if they do take the challenge? You have to be willing to do what? With your money? You got to be willing to gamble. Halal riba, halal gambling. If that's not the name of the book in Arabic, how many hadiths you going to bring us? No, don't look at them. La. What's the name of the what? Of the book. Do you know it or not? You willing to put your chips down or not? Go to another table. What I mean? This table ain't for you. I help with Sharif. You got to go to another one. There you are. Tayyib. The name of the book is called in Arabic. It says here, Uddatu Sabirin wa Dhakhiratu Shakirin, which linguistically means Uddatu Sabirin, the provision, the outfit of the patient. Wa Dhakhiratu Shakirin, and the hidden prize for the thankful. They put it in English, the way to patience, which is incomplete because the book is not just about patience. Not to bash the translation. Right, Fadl. It says here, Ibn al-Qayyim. Let's see.
No, this is a different one.
That's a different book. Is that 516? No, give it to him, give it to him.
No,
Give it.
this
Bismillah,
is
bismillah.
a bridge version.
Tight.
That's the one that you
It said, no, I was talking about a different one. It says here, there was a different copy of the book, but we say these things metaphorically, Riba, gambling. This is how we learn, how we benefit. You have to have confidence in your what? Your argument. You got to be willing to do what, Khan? You got to be willing to what? Aywa. Take a chance. That's how you learn. That's how you benefit. And if you're wrong, you what? You lose. If you don't provide the necessary information, will you do what? You have to pay what? More money. As the Arabs used to say, "Imma an taqdi wa imma an turbi." He says, either you're going to pay me my money or I'm adding more interest. More usury to it. Everybody understand this? So what's your homework assignment now, Nafis? What are you going to do? Because you lost the bet. Clearly. Everyone witnessed that you lost.
It was nothing.
SubhanAllah. It's never. SubhanAllah. Li'am, low lives. Never bet with a low life. Play it. Next question. Around Kufaz? Next question. Hopefully the answer is clear, inshallah.
What advice would you give someone, question asked, which is gay. What advice would you give someone who is trying to avoid taking pictures and videos for her wedding, but is pressured by society?
We say that pressure is a reality. It's reality. Society, your peers, your elders, it's reality. Okay? So if you don't want to take the pictures for whatever reason, and you consider pictures to be haram, tayyib. There's nothing wrong with that. You consider pictures to be permissible, but you're just shy, or you're not photogenic, you want to look bad in the picture, or the pictures are going to end up in someone else's hand, some type of pervert or some type of sick person on a social media, that's tayyib. That's fine. If the people truly love you and respect you, then they're going to respect your wishes. Huh, Yusuf? If they truly love you and respect you, they're going to respect your wishes. I know, I'm not saying it's haram or kether, but please, I just don't want to take a picture. Why do I have to take a picture? Oh no, you only live once. You're only going to be young once. You want to get old. You want to kether. You want to get married, divorce, kids. Take pictures while you're young, while you're beautiful, so on and so forth. I don't want to take the picture. Please, don't force me. Don't pressure me. I just don't want to do it. Khalas. And if someone doesn't respect your wish, it doesn't respect how you feel and how you think, then yani, their friendship is lacking. We'll say that. To be gentle. Their friendship is what? At least what? It's lacking. But if I truly love you and respect you as a friend, tayyib, la bas. I mean, it's cool. No problem. I don't get upset. Inshallah. Because that's your wish. And I have to respect it. I can't force my view on you. I can encourage you. Come on, man. Come on out. But I can't what? Can't force you. Inshallah. Wallahu a'lam.
Question from that Muslim guy. What is the ruling on modern day nasheeds? One that do not contain any Muslim, any music, just vocals and have good lyrics.
The concept of nasheeds, poetry, haikus, music, singing, dancing, chanting. It's a very, very long issue, detailed issue. The details and what you can and cannot listen to, what you can and cannot say. Very detailed. To keep things simple and to keep things brief, the nasheed, if it doesn't possess bad and foul lyrics, if it doesn't possess musical instruments, if it isn't a means of infatuation, women singing, boys singing, people bouncing and jiggling their vocal cords and things like this, if it's in the original Arabic style or even in a traditional style of the people, it's something that promotes bravery, courage, chivalry. It's something that promotes goodness and wholesome character, things like this, making it easy upon hard work, difficult labor, encouraging the Muslims to fight and be brave in Allah's cause and things like this. Then bi-idhnillahi ta'ala, there are many of the people of knowledge of past and of present who say that it is permissible with those what? Guidelines. And that's a brief summary of the answer. Wallahu ta'ala.
Question I ask, J.I. Is it permissible to rid the hair on the neck? Is this classed as part of the beard?
No, it's not a part of the beard, and it's permissible to remove for men and for women. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows best.
Questioner, initials WL, I'm sorry, UL. Can my 4-month-old spend Christmas with her non-Muslim grandparents? Then and my husband already are not on good terms. I fear saying no will make it worse.
If you have custody, it's your child, Allah Alam, but let's say you have full custody of your child, no. Don't send your child to a Christmas party or Christmas or New Year's weekend, no. You can see your granddaughter or niece or whatever the relationship is whenever you like. But she's not going over with you singing and dancing and drinking and praising and this and that and Christmas trees and Yule logs and mistletoe and eggnog. No. Sorry. Even though she's young. Obviously the child is young. The child is not of age. The child is not going to be doing those acts of munkar. However, only Allah knows what the child sees and hears. Only Allah knows what the child feels. Only Allah knows when the fitrah becomes distorted and warped. Everybody understand these words? Only Allah truly knows when the fitrah becomes warped. Does the fitrah become warped when a child is older? Or are there seeds to the distortion of the fitrah from a young age of a baby? What do the specialists say about talking to your baby? I would say, right? Why do they have the different things dangling over the crib? The baby's motor skills, reflexes, talk to your baby, sing to your baby, different things like this. Only Allah knows. So I wouldn't advise you to send your child to those non-Muslims during the time of their cursed, pagan, winter solstice, sun worshipping holidays. Wallahu alam.
Question I asked initials MC. What is the ruling about piercings? In specific, not the ordinary ears and nose.
Question says the ruling on piercings, and specifically not the normal ears and nose, navel, and other parts of the body that a person may get pierced. I would say, from one aspect, one way of looking at it, one would say it's haram. Because the piercing is a clear act of imitation of the kuffar. It's something that is specific to them, their practice. And it was unknown to the practice of many parts of the world, let alone the Muslims. Everybody understand this? Let alone the Muslims. And in history, when you read about the origin and the foundation of piercings, as well as tattoos, but tattoos are different because we have specific hadith on that. But the foundation of tattoo is not just adornment. It's not just beautification. The piercing was a means of getting closer to something, was a means of sacrifice, was a means of identification. It was a means of class and status. The different tattoos that you had on your body represented this level and that level. The piercings in the ear, in the nose, other parts of the body in which they had piercings, they had extended necks and ears and different things like this. It meant something. Whether it was getting closer to their deities of worship, Allah they worshipped, and other gods and other deities, billah, false taghut deities. Whether it was a means of warding off evil spirits, bringing good luck, and the list goes on. So those who read the foundations of tattoos and of piercings, this is what you're going to find in general. And what? In general. So from one aspect, one can say it's clearly haram. Everybody understand this? However, from another aspect, one may say it isn't haram. And that is because the Prophet ﷺ acknowledged that the women had pierced ears. In the hadith in which he told the women to give the sadaqah. Give sadaqah. Bilal radiallahu anhu went with him. He took his garment, he spread it out, and they started throwing and tossing coins and nuggets, earrings is mentioned. Qurat. They mentioned what? Earrings and different things like this. So if the ear is pierced, what makes the nose haram to be pierced? If the nose is permissible to be pierced, what makes this part of the ear to be pierced? And any other part of the body, one's navel, one's nipples, one's this, one's that. If one thing is permissible, what makes the what? The next thing impermissible. One may say this, one may what? One may say this. Everybody clear on this or not? Another way of looking at it is, one may say that it had a religious origin. It had a practice of superstition and polytheism, etc. in those days. But through time, through mixing, through the different changes, the secular, social, class, so on and so forth, that it has no more religious, substantial foundation to it anymore. It is nothing more than style and fashion, just like types of haircuts. A mohawk was a religious symbol, a cultural symbol to a certain type of people. Nowadays, a person says, I don't believe in this, I don't have no religion, and I get a mohawk or bald head. There are different people that shave their heads out of religion, leaving off the past life, cleansing yourself, removing the filth of your past sins, coming into a new spiritual life. Buddhists, Hindus, so on and so forth. Does it mean it's haram for a brother to have a bald head today? Everybody understand this? Everybody clear on this or not? So there are many things that we do on a daily basis. There are many things that we do on a daily basis that have religious foundations to them. Superstition, like having plants inside your house. You'll be shocked when you read about the origin of this. Who were the people that first put plants in the house and why? They didn't put plants in the house for fresh air, for sunlight, and for this and that, and oxygen. They put plants in the house for superstition. Bringing good omens and warding off bad omens. That's why when you go to a plant shop or a flower shop, there are plants that are very popular. And some of these plants have benefits with regards to health and science, but in most cases, it's based off of the old ancient English, Scottish, Danish traditions. Never ever have this type of plant in your house. And always have this type of plant in your house. This tree brings this, and that type of plant brings that. Everybody understand this? You say it's haram to have plants in your house? I can't have a plant in my house? Doesn't necessarily what? Mean that. And there are many things. We go on and on and on. Things that we do on a daily basis, foods that you eat, things that you say, that have a what? An original foundation, but it's no longer, it's gone, it's totally wiped away. It's no longer pertaining to religion and deen at all. Everybody understand this? And it's nothing more than fashion. Everybody clear on this? So from one aspect, we may say that these piercings are what? Permissible. Everybody understand this? They're what? They're permissible. Another way of looking at it is, when you get these type of piercings, who's looking at your aura? The aura of a man and a woman is different as Ani. Okay? Is it permissible for a woman to get her nipples pierced? Can she show her nipples to someone that's not her husband? Is it permissible for someone to get their clitoris pierced? Or a man get his penis pierced? People, they do these things. Who are you exposing your aura to? Everybody understand this? That pierce artist, or I don't know what they call it, a tattoo artist, is a reality. So is that even permissible in itself? Let alone the fact of the concept of self-sacrifice. Sacrificing yourself to Satan and the demon through pain and piercings. It's a well-known practice among modern occultists and Satanists. Not the old mushrikeen that we spoke on already. Modern Satanists and occultists, they do certain things as a means of offering themselves to what? To Satan. Just like you read about, let's say for example, heavy metal, heavy rock, groupies, women. It's all different foundations behind the concept of rock star culture. It's much more than just music. It's much more than just what? Just music. And the same applies to some of these tattoos and piercings. So therefore, me, myself, the ears is one thing. The nose is one thing. If a woman got her navel pierced, I can't say it's haram. Person got their nipples pierced, I can't say that's haram. I would necessarily advise with it. Especially the wilder and the deeper you go into some of those piercings. The more exotic your piercings become. This, that, kada. And this place, the back, this, that. The face, this, that. I wouldn't advise with that at all. However, the ear, the nose, one might say even the navels or the nipples, perhaps. Wallahu ta'ala alam. I wouldn't what? I wouldn't advise with going against the basic simple piercings, but it doesn't mean that it's what? Haram. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala surely knows best. This will conclude tonight's Q&A session. هذا وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على عبده ورسوله نبينا محمد وجزاكم الله خيرا.